So on page 26, he has a very nice distinction, which I think sums up a lot of the misapplication of merit and of how things work economically. So he differentiates between a status society and a capitalistic society. So a status society, of course, is one in which people are promoted because of who they are. So whether that's a royal family, whether that's a patrician kind of thing, or that's just some kind of known and popular family. And then the capitalist society, of course, is basically a merit society. So you have your wealth because you earned it. And a lot of people they make this mistake when they think about inherited wealth. They think that, okay, so if someone who gets inherited wealth does well, that's just because of who they are. But there's lots of people that it's very rare, actually. If you look at data, which a lot of people don't do, if you look at data, it's actually rare that people with inherited wealth do as well, and certainly, or even better, that's even more rare, that do as well as their parents who actually made the money. It's actually often that inherited wealth just gets squandered, and the various kids, or even one kid that receives the money, doesn't actually do anything with it other than just use it and have a higher life, but then it's gone after one generation. A case like Donald Trump, which is often brought up, of course, because of the election, apparently he was given $1 million, and of course his father was very good in real estate, and no doubt helped him and trained him. And he had $1 million in New York and made his starting there and made lots of money. But there's lots of people who had $1 million in New York real estate and did not do well. So it's not as if it's not a status society, because what people are doing, of course, is they're trying to say that, well, Trump didn't earn his wealth. He just was lucky enough to have $1 million and have a father who was in real estate. But there's lots of those cases across the entire country. And so it's nonsense to say that Trump's success is merely because of his father and because of his inherited wealth. Lots of people inherit wealth. I'm sure it's even more obvious that all kinds of people who win the lottery. You hear about some of them going bankrupt, some of them not saving their money, some of them engaging in riotous living. So that should be a clear enough case. But if it isn't, you can look at the data and look at inherited wealth and how long that inherited wealth actually stays within the family. Well, not very long. One generation is even rare. So a status society would actually maintain people's wealth because of who they are. And that is not a just society, because those people who are in a royal family, for example, they do not deserve their status because of who they are. That's not an appropriate measure of what's deserving or what's just. An appropriate measure is merit, just as if what we would say that someone who studies hard and knows the material deserves an A, but a kid that comes in because his father is connected with the school board, he gets an A just because of who he is. I think that's obvious. That should be so obvious to people that is unjust. But that's a status society. And that's actually what a lot of people want, at least inadvertently, when they suggest that people, based on nothing but being human, deserve something, right? That's a kind of status society. Or if they're the old monarchists, of course, they think that the royalty deserves something. But they, for some reason, then flip their head when they think about, well, people who earn money, why do they deserve it? Well, actually, and what they do is, of course, they explain the various success of people based on a status argument rather than a merit argument. So, anyways, this is a very good distinction between a status society and a capitalistic society. Obviously, a society based on merit is a good thing. We want people who do well to be in their positions, not people who didn't deserve it or got there because they know someone, which often it happens quite a bit nowadays, which is making a worse society. It's making a society in which people are in various positions and they shouldn't be there. They didn't earn that position, and they certainly don't have the merit. The only reason they're there is because they were connected with someone. That's a kind of political cloud, I think, that's increasing. And I think a status society kind of takes us back. I think it's regressive. I think a better society is a capitalistic society in which merit rules, and people who are deserving and work hard and do well and have the intelligence and the abilities and the knowledge, those are the people that should be promoted based on their test scores or whatever it might be, and not because of who they are or their skin color or these affirmative action policies which bring back status society elements rather than merit elements.